Hello, my name's David Walsh. Welcome to the LPC podcast for PRIMIR's Tag and Label Printing Trends Market Research Report, which has recently been distributed to PRIMIR's members. The report offers a comprehensive look at the North American tag and label printing market and closely examines current trends and opportunities in the marketplace. 4 of PRIMIR and LPC's primary objectives in carrying out the research for this study were 1. Providing an understanding of current and future functionality of tags and labels by format and end-use market segments. 2. Identifying the dollar size and structure of the tag and label market based on product and end-user market segments. 3. Growth forecast per market segment over the next 5 years. And 4. An analysis of all printing processes, both conventional and digital, utilized in the market, and market sizing and growth rates for each process. More than 250 North American tag and label printers, packaging buyers, and brand owners participated in our research, filling out detailed surveys and participating in interviews and interactive focus groups. I'm here today with Jennifer Dockstader, co-founder of LPC, and I'll be asking Jennifer a series of questions about the study and some of the highlights garnered from the research. Let's start with a general question, Jennifer. Why did PRIMIR decide to commission this study? Why does the North American tag and label industry warrant this kind of in-depth endeavor?
Well, all the printed packaging sectors are unique. Labels, flexible packaging, folding cartons, corrugated, they all have sector-specific characteristics. But I think the tag and label industry has attributes that make it uniquely dynamic and interesting. We estimate that the total value of the North American tag and label market is just over $12 billion. And that's the US, Canada, and Mexico, obviously. I mentioned that this market is a dynamic one, so what do I mean by that? The label industry is always changing and expanding. Beyond labels for wine bottles and Amazon.com shipping boxes, today we're seeing labels that are applied to the skin for monitoring glucose levels or even to apply medication. We're seeing labels that monitor food spoilage and product temperatures. This industry, the North American label printing industry, it's always pushing into new frontiers. Additionally, the North American tag and label industry is by far the most fragmented out of all the packaging sectors. There are between 2,000 and 2,200 tag and label printers in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. About 2% of those companies have annual revenues of more than $50 million. Around 12.5 have annual sales between $10 and $50 million, and a whopping 85.5% of those companies have annual revenues of less than $10 million. This is a very bottom-heavy pyramid and demonstrates that there's still a lot of room for consolidation in this industry.
Can't we also say that the label printing industry is the packaging sector with the highest levels of digitally printing production compared to the others?
Absolutely. There are more digital press installations in the label sector. Digital is still nascent in flexible packaging and folding cartons, though it's certainly poised for high growth for the foreseeable future in these two markets. In North America, digital labels currently represent between 8 and 9% of total label production. Digital is projected to grow at annual rates of 15 to 17%. Conventional print processes are estimated to grow at around 1.5 to 2% annually, and this gives us a sense of how quickly the landscape is changing. There's something else, David, I want to say about the label industry that I think makes it unique, and that is that some applications in this industry are truly an art form. We're seeing things like extremely complex die cuts with wine and spirits labels. We're seeing micro embossing. We're seeing highest definition flexo and extremely sophisticated extended content applications. These applications are also referred to as extended text or booklet labels. This has long been an industry in which printers have had to think outside the box again and again to create innovative and high-level technical applications, and that's still very apparent in the market today.
Were you surprised by anything else our research uncovered? We spoke to a lot of packaging buyers and brand owners. What's their current mindset?
We asked packaging buyers a lot of questions. However, one of the more interesting ones, I think, was about print process perceptions. As you know, we really wanted to get a feel for how biased this segment of the supply chain still is about the different print processes. Historically, this was an industry in which offset and rotogravure were sort of perceived as the Rolls-Royce processes.
Yes, I can recall a number of meetings we've had over the years with brand owners, and a print production manager was present, and they wouldn't even consider that Flexo could come close to or match offset and gravure quality levels.
Exactly. And we wanted to gauge how much this print process bias still persists today. We're not only talking about offset and gravure now, however. You have to add some of the higher-end digital processes into the mix that truly can print at offset quality. So where does that leave us now? We directly asked brand owners and packaging buyers if it mattered which type of print processes are used to print their labels. The results were revealing. 55% of all companies surveyed stated that yes, it absolutely matters which print processes are used, since quality standards are an imperative for my company's products. These companies made it clear that they believe that some print processes are absolutely superior to others. 45% of companies surveyed stated that it really didn't matter as long as price points and quality levels were being met. Now, 5 years ago, we asked the same question to brand owners, and more than 70% of companies at that time told us definitively that it mattered and that they believed some print processes were superior to others. So let's call it print process snobbery is decreasing. However, there's still a long way to go, and that's where flexography and the inroads it has made and continues to make, that's when it gets really interesting. And this is all reviewed in the report.
So, were there any other surprises or anecdotes worth sharing from the brand owner side of the supply chain?
I do have something else I wanted to mention. Sustainability is once again a priority. During the global downturn, it was placed on the back burner for many companies across the supply chain. However, this issue is now back with a vengeance. Label converters are achieving some type of environmental certification in increasing numbers, and a number of label printers we spoke with stated that they achieved certification within the past 1 to 2 years just because one or more of their customers were making it an imperative. They really didn't have a choice. So we wanted to gauge this in a more expanded way, and we asked packaging buyers and brand owners if they anticipated that environmental certification will become a requirement that their company enforces onto their tag and label vendors over the next 2 years. The results were fascinating. 18% of the brand owners and packaging buyers we surveyed stated that they already are requiring environmental certification from their tag and label vendors. In other words, they will not buy tag and labels from a company who is not environmentally certified. I want to state here that the universe of packaging buyers we spoke with sourced more than $2 billion worth of tags and labels in 2013. This is a huge slice of the total market pie, and I think we can certainly consider the sample as representative of the greater market. On top of that 18% that already are requiring it, an additional 38% stated that they will in fact be requiring that their tag and label vendors be environmentally certified within the next 2 years. This is significant. We can deduce, therefore, that within the next 2 years, more than 50% of packaging buyers and brand owners will demand that their tag and label vendors have some type of environmental, green, sustainability certification. Those printing companies that aren't certified yet better get busy.
Something that really sticks out in my mind from our research was the desire for printed packaging vendors to be a one-stop shop for all of the brand owners' needs. Were the results of this part of the survey surprising to you?
It was. We hear about the one-stop shop concept in the packaging industry and in the media all the time. However, no one has really gone out there and gathered data on it before. One of the most critical trends that is occurring right now in the North American label industry is the converting of flexible packaging applications on narrow web label presses. We can talk about how run sizes have come down in the label printing industry, and run sizes are something we report on in depth in the study. However, as we both know, we've done extensive research in the flexible packaging industry as well, and run sizes are declining at a much sharper rate in flexible packaging than in the label printing sector. Due to this phenomenon, label printers are increasingly converting small run flexible packaging applications on their label presses. Some flexible packaging converters might listen to this and say, "Oh, please give me a break. How much can you do on an inline press?" And we all know that central impression is critical for many of these applications. My answer to that is That's not entirely true. In a past life, I sold narrow web printing presses into flexible packaging houses, and these machines were able to convert thin, unsupported films without any issues. This was in the 1990s. Today, narrow web press technology has made tremendous inroads and strides in this area. So, how does this circle back to your one-stop shop question? As label printers become more fluent at converting flexible packaging applications on their presses, they now have two types of printed packaging they can sell to the same company, i.e. labels and flexible packaging. Nearly 1/3 of the brand owners and packaging buyers we spoke to told us that they absolutely want a one-stop shop for as many printed packaging products as possible. I think this number is going to grow over the next half decade. And I think it could grow significantly. And this is certainly something that you and I have talked about that our firm LPC will continue to monitor and to report on.
I don't know whether you have any closing thoughts, but I'd like to say that I don't believe there's ever been such a comprehensive report done on the North American tag and label sector. This report touches on every supply niche, on every link of the actual supply chain, or as some people call it, the value chain.
I agree. This report covers a lot of ground, and much of this information has never been surveyed or presented before. I hope that PRIMIR members find real value in this report, and I'd like to encourage people to contact us if they have any questions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very brief overview, but I hope that motivates people to go ahead and look at the report. If they haven't got it in front of them, they should make sure that they do it, and also, ideally, share it with others in the company. We want people to make the most and get the most out of this research.